YouTube, what's going on? Second City Sleepers here once again, bringing you our weekly Raw talk. Well, starting off real quick, we're going to get into the opening segment, which was the Authority coming out with Triple H, Stephanie, Kane, Randy Orton, and Seth Rollins. Now, this was the episode of promoting the WWE Network. I don't know if sales are down this year or to this quarter of the season, I guess you would say. But went on Triple H going on saying like, at SummerSlam we're gonna have John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, which can be seen on the WWE Network for only $9.99 a month. And then it went on with Orton versus Reigns, you see it on the WWE Network $9.99 a month, and it went on the same thing with Rollins versus Ambrose, WWE Network $9.99 a month. Triple H said it like 6 times during the opening segment, and wasn't really much. They just kind of talked up a few of the matches at the beginning, and then it ended up with Reigns coming out and interfering, which resulted in Randy Orton getting upset for some reason. Randy Orton wanted to fight for the first time in a Raw in probably 9 years. But Triple H kind of held him aside and said, you know what, it's not going to be you fighting. You're going to wait till SummerSlam. We're going to have Kane, or the Demon. I think he said we need a Demon to fight Reigns or something like that. And it's going to be a last man standing match. So they cut to commercial. What?
No, go ahead. Keep on.
They cut to commercial, and the match started. And
no, you said a last man standing match.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was asking.
A lot of not so great sells in this match. There was a DDT. I think Kane attempted DDT on Reigns. It might have been the other way around. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember exactly. But it was done horribly. It was sold horribly. They were doing moves back and forth. It was terrible sells back and forth. Ended up with Reigns winning. I believe he did a spear, I think, through a table. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was a spear. He did a Superman punch and it ended up knocking Kane into the table. It was one of the two. Pretty sure it was a spear into the table. Don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But yeah, Reigns ended up winning. Kane couldn't get up to the count of 10. And then moving on after that, there was a video segment with Brock Lesnar and John Cena, which was absolutely horrible. They played it, I think, 3 times throughout the night. I think they played it each time the new hour dropped throughout the show. And it was... And Lesnar went on with his ass-kicking machine, and I'm a mean son of a bitch, and, I should be the one that beats Cena because I'm the 1-21-1, and blah, blah. And then it cuts to Cena's video promo, and Cena's going on about how I should be the one that beats the 1-21-1. And Cena, shut the hell up. It's fucking terrible. My beef with John Cena by now, I'm sure.
But did Cena say that he was going to be the 1-21?
Cena said he should be the 1-21-1.
I think that was.
Or he should be the one that beats the 1-21-1. And
hey, I didn't even watch Raw.
Yeah, he hasn't watched it yet. I had to fill him in a
So
little
I
bit.
apologize to all the true wrestling fans out there, and I apologize to the #1 wrestling fan right here next to me. But he did say that
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he said...
Hey, I hate Cena as much as you do, but he did say that.
Yeah.
Man, gotta give credit where credit is due for a second. So,
Yeah,
all right, go ahead. Run down Raw.
I terrible. The rest of his video promos, when you watch it back, you're gonna want to put your face through a fucking wall.
We hate Cena, but I just thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that one line out of the 5 minutes was good. That's okay. Actually good for Cena. But moving on, next we had one of the 3 guys on the roster right now that has eaten White Castle and then proceeded to go to Vince McMahon's desk and take a squat on top of it. We had Sandow, who came dressed out as Oklahoma Sooners football player.
Boomer Sooner.
Why? I don't know what they're doing to him. He's one of the best on the mic. He's one of the best in ring right now, and they're burying him. And then he fights Mark Henry, who's returning now. And Henry beats him in probably 20 seconds.
Time.
Yes. Henry beats him in like 20 seconds. Henry's going to end up being with the Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Big E group.
Until he gets injured and never shows up for 2 years, and then he shows up again.
Which, speaking of that group, they weren't on Raw tonight, and it's kind of weird considering they're trying to build up a new group, and they weren't even on the show. And creative, you guys are idiots. Even though it's not really a good idea in the first place with those guys, but they're trying. They're
Put black people together. See what happens.
I like the fact that they're just slowly, very slowly, starting to bring in tag teams and factions back, but can you make the faction good? Next up, we had the Adam Rose segment, which was god awful. He had a backstage segment where him and his rosebuds were talking to a mirror that can mystically show their evil alter egos, or I guess you could say it. I think it had something to do with the Oculus movie that just came out on Blu-ray DVD this week. But yeah, Adam Rose looked in a mirror, and all of a sudden he saw like himself wearing a tuxedo as like a business person, and came back to reality. He said he was a lemon, then he snapped out and said he'll always be a rosebud, blah blah blah. Move on.
I've seen that.
Okay, but next up we had the earlier on I forgot to mention, Triple H announced the Beat the Clock challenge between Rollins and Ambrose. They both face opponents, and whoever would have the quickest time in beating their opponent would pick the stipulation between their match for SummerSlam. So moving on to this match now, going back to current time, we had Ambrose versus Del Rio in his Beat the Clock match. It wasn't a bad match, actually, considering it Del Rio was in it, and Del Rio hasn't had a good match ever, probably. And it cut to commercial. Hogan had a whole,
Hogan was that?
Yeah, well, commercial. But in this upcoming Raw, the Hogan's going to have his birthday celebration on Raw. Whether or not he will be there,
He'll be there. He will be there.
we will find out.
I just got excited.
And then here comes my rip towards Jerry Lawler of the week. When the clock hit 10:39 in the match, you hear Jerry Lawler, "Hey, clock's at 10:39. That's $9.99. That means that's the same exact price that WWE Network per month at $9.99 a month, only for the WWE Network." Lawler, retire. Go do backstage stuff. That's fine. Go do the stuff JB Noble's doing and Finley and all that. Go do that stuff. Get off commentary. You can't do it. You haven't been able to do it in probably 5 years.
I agree.
It's time to call it quits. I'd rather see Alex Riley at commentating aside from you.
Alright. I wouldn't go that far, but
Bring back Booker T even. Jesus.
yeah, Booker T. Yeah, I mean, Jerry Lawler is so bad. I mean, God bless him. Because he did suffer a heart attack on live TV and got through it, and he came back. And
we're glad he's doing well now.
Yeah,
it's awesome you're doing well.
But you're good yet? Yeah, get out of here. He's not. He has no influence on anything of professional wrestling anymore. He doesn't. He's got no influence on wrestling anymore. And God bless him. Retire how you are now, and just be like, you know what? Thank you, everybody, and because he's not a pervert anymore. He tries to be. Remember when he was back in the day, and God bless him.
With Tori Wilson with the puppies and that, yeah.
But now he's, God bless him. He's a good guy. He's done. And I think
time to move on. Yes.
He's retire. That's about it.
Yeah. But moving on to this match, though, I mean, one very bad part of the match you had Del Rio went to go do a roll up to Ambrose and ended up rolling him up into the ropes, which some people kind of say, well, that was planned. This was not planned, people. Del Rio tried to roll up and it was botched completely. It went into the ropes. The ref was even confused. The ref went to start counting, and then he's like, on the ropes, get him away. And I'm like, Del Rio, just I know you plan on retiring soon. I know, it's like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, it came out that you were going to retire within the next 6 months. It doesn't happen. Just retire already. You're not entertaining whatsoever. Ricardo Rodriguez was more entertaining than you when he was your manager. Stop. And then the One thing I really hate about this match is they made Dean Ambrose look really weak against him. I did not like that at all. The match ended up going 15:42 time, and probably out of that 15:42, Ambrose was in control probably 11 minutes out of that 15:42. It was a decent match, but you can't have Ambrose look weak against the guy who was mid-card at best at this point in his career. Probably mid-card.
And wants to leave.
Yes.
At this point in his career.
Exactly. It's not good, but one thing I was really impressed with, Ambrose did a move I have not seen on a Raw in a long time. He did a tornado DDT off the top turnbuckle, which was executed 100% perfectly. Looked amazing. Del Rio actually sold it really well. It just looked amazing. Ambrose took on after they ended up doing the dirty deeds to Del Rio. 1, 2, 3. Ambrose wins in 15:42. A very odd time, which we'll kind of figure out why it was an odd time later on as we get into this. But next up we had the Rusev came out. And as Rusev was coming out, it was announced. So coming up next, once we come back from commercial, we'll find out who Rusev's partner will be. This upcoming match, come back from commercial. So during commercial break, Rusev defeated Sin Cara. I'm like,
oh no. Now let the record show why I said oh no. I haven't watched Raw, so keep going.
I was
so
happy.
Rusev versus Sin Cara.
Rusev versus Sin Cara. I was happy and upset at the same time. Reason why I was happy was because, thank God, Creative had enough sense to not allow the WWE Universe to witness that travesty match between two guys that can't wrestle for shit. Reason why I was upset, it's a Raw. How could you let something go during a commercial break? Heaven forbid if somebody doesn't have the WWE app on their phone, they can't watch that. Which I don't, because that app is terrible.
Yeah, it is.
That's not very good. But yeah, ended up with Zeb Coulter and Swagger coming out. Zeb Coulter did his whole Boris and Natasha thing.
I'm a big fan of Zeb.
I like Zeb, I don't like Swagger.
I like what they do, though.
Yeah, I like what they're doing right now. Jack
the,
Swagger's t-shirt is badass, by the way.
Yeah.
The whole We the People, the whole arm over the hand, that's pretty cool. They ended up talking back and forth. Excuse me. But ended up with Borisov taking out Swagger, throwing him outside the ring. Ended up cornering Zeb Coulter into the corner. And Lana kind of backed Rusev off, which I don't understand why. I thought it would have been pretty cool to see a manager get beat up, because we have not seen that in a long time, actually. And that segment was subpar. I mean, Zeb brought it up a little bit with his talking. That Zeb's the only reason why that rivalry is any good, and Lana's good too as well. But you take out the whole USA versus Russia thing, those two would be non-existent right now. As I've said before, Vince and Triple H are planning for Rusev to be the main heel in the company in the future. I don't see it. The guy's got no charisma, no mic skills. He can't wrestle.
He can't. Oh, thank you very much.
At all. He can't do any of it. Oh. He's just a big guy. That's all.
You want to talk about bad? Oh.
He makes Yokozuna look like a gymnastics teacher.
Yes. Thank you. You are the smartest person I talk to right now. He is not very good at all.
It's terrible.
Not good.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It's
not good.
Stuff he does is pretty not.
Hey, God bless her. I love her.
Oh yeah, Lana's amazing.
She knows how to work the crowd. She knows what to do. She knows how to work that butt, work that legs, work that face. Him, God, he's and WWE will push him for at least a half a year. Right when we talk right now, good half a year, and then half a year would be he ain't gonna do poop.
He's the next Umaga.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Thank you. Yes, he's Umaga. Shit. You know what?
Umaga was slightly more talented, but he still wasn't good.
I mean, we are disrespecting Umaga. Why we say that?
Yeah, I mean,
this guy is the next.
Umaga had some wrestling ability a little bit. I know,
and he had a little more talent.
Yes, I know. Armando Alejandro Estrada, I believe his name was, kind of helped him out a bit. That's how it ended with Zeb being backed in the corner and Lana backed off Rusev. And then it cut to commercial, I believe. And next up we had Ziggler versus Cesaro, which I thought would be an amazing match For some reason, creative decided to only let this match go about 2.5 minutes. What creative was thinking, you have two guys who have amazing wrestling skills, especially with Ziggler. And then you have Cesaro's, just brute strength. These guys are great in-ring. Probably the best in-ring talent one-on-one on the card tonight. And it ended up being the shortest match, probably the shortest match on Raw, and probably throughout the year if you don't count like the Blow Dallas stuff or like small like mid-card stuff with somebody getting pushed over real quick. But like two legitimate guys. Definitely the quickest match I've seen in a while. And Cesaro definitely joined Sandow on that White Castle run and then proceeded to poop on Vince's desk.
Who won?
Ended up with Ziggler winning, of course. I think Ziggler's 9 straight wins on Raw, if I'm not mistaken, give or take one. Ziggler's getting a big push. You had Miz ringside during the match doing commentating. And Miz came in like capri pants, or it was like beige capris. It looked like it was not pretty, and then went on about his movie career. But we don't care about what he's saying.
Miz?
Yeah.
Yeah. Miz. Nobody likes the Miz.
And Miz went up to the apron after the match, and Ziggler went to. It looked like Ziggler was going to shake his hand, and then Ziggler went to kick him, and Miz ran out of the ring.
We were just like talking. Hey, all right, now, but being honest, let's lighten it up a little bit here. Dolph Ziggler has been winning all his matches. He's been good. He's getting pushed.
Yep.
Finally, he is being like he's. You know what? Here's my little throw it out there craziness, Money in the Bank stuff, because I know Seth Rollins has got the Money in the Bank guy and he haven't cashed it in yet, but here's my thing. Here's my throwing out there a little casting out there. So here it is right now, and we are still waiting on. I know, I apologize. We are still waiting for Dolph Ziggler to call in. He's gonna call in anytime. He's gonna call in, have an interview with us. But before that, here's what I'm thinking of. I'm a little crazy, but I love the fact that it's Dolph Ziggler now, and who's becoming great. Like WWE's actually giving him the opportunity that he deserves. I like it. And he's doing good. And now he's got to follow Sheamus? That's not fun. And because Sheamus has got, I don't like any of it. Or anybody like Sheamus? I don't like him.
What do you mean follow Sheamus though?
I'm not saying follow.
Ooh, I killed a bug with my finger.
I'm not saying follow, but he should be better than him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He should be higher status than him. Yeah.
I apologize. I kind of threw it off, but I think Dolph Ziggler is the next Intercontinental United States Champion, the next independent wrestler, and then he's gonna have that and be the next world champion of all time.
I hope they push him to that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I meant with Sheamus, because Sheamus had the,
Yeah. Time will tell.
And Dolph Ziggler is going to be
he's the biggest workhorse in the company at the moment too.
He is.
And yeah, but moving on.
He's going to call us in a minute. Yeah.
Moving on, we got had a quick promo for quick promo. We had the Rose Brothers finally got promoted for a match coming up after the commercial break, which went on to talk about the Paul Heyman DVD coming out this week, which I really need to go pick up. Haven't gotten it yet. Dying to get it and watch it. It's going to be amazing. But coming back commercial, you had the Rose Brothers versus Ryback. So why Ryback's still on a Raw match? I don't get it. Ryback's got no talent. Curtis Axel's got no talent at all. Neither of them can talk. Neither of them can wrestle. Terrible. Rose Brothers beat the living hell out of him, and end up with Stardust putting the Black Matter, which was kind of like a Russian leg sweep kind of move, a little bit.
Which one? Well,
What are you doing?
what are you doing? I'm talking. I'm listening, man.
Stardust did like a Russian leg sweep type of thing. He's doing some kind of three-fingered thing next to me. It's weirding me out. Kind of like Stardust does with the...
Let's pay attention.
Yeah, Stardust did the Russian leg sweep, Black Matter, I think it's called. 1, 2, 3. I think he did hit it on Ryback, I think. I'm not sure. Both of them are terrible wrestlers, so I didn't pay attention to who he did it to. But Rhodes Brothers win. First match on Raw, or any match in WWE in at least a month and a half. But moving on, we had a segment backstage with Triple H and Stephanie. They were talking or whispering. I don't think they really talked about anything much. And Kane walks backstage. He hands Stephanie his mask. Never showed his face, per se, so...
Oh, really?
Just showed the back of his head.
Oh, God.
So... there could be some storyline behind that, and time will tell. We're going to see what happens. It just could be a very weird coincidence. But we'll see what happens coming up to Raw next week. But moving on, we had another match I thought would be really good that actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't because I thought it'd be. We had Jericho versus Harper, which if Jericho wins, Harper will not be allowed ringside during his and Bray Wyatt's match at SummerSlam. Jericho had a match with Rowan and last week's SmackDown, which Jericho won, so Rowan was already not allowed during SummerSlam. Ended up with Jericho winning via disqualification because Bray Wyatt ended up interfering. And yeah, Harper's not allowed to ringside at SummerSlam. I mean, it's going to be a legit one-on-one match between Jericho and Wyatt. This is what I've wanted to see for at least a month now, and this will definitely be the best 2 out of 3 because it was reported on some website I dropped, or there was a rumor, or not a rumor, there was an interview that Jericho did with some wrestling website, which I also reported on our Facebook page, that Jericho announced that his last WWE show in this stint, I will say, will be on a Raw this September in Nashville. I'm not sure when that is exactly, but my guess is it's probably going to be right after Night of Champions.
Wait. I'm sorry. I apologize. So, Jericho announced he was done again, would it be?
Well, before he goes on the Fozzy, then he'll be back after Fozzy.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say...
So, it's going to be that Nashville show, the Raw show. I'm going to guess that's right after Night of Champions, because...
So why the hell were you talking about this?
We're talking about Jericho.
I mean, why are we talking about when he's going to...
Because we're bringing up the Jericho Wyatt stuff real quick. I'm bringing up how the
I
match
understand. We don't care what Jericho's going to do after. Nobody cares. Like, he's going to go tour Fozzy. He's going to be at SummerSlam. That's awesome. We don't need to tell him where... I'm sorry. I apologize. But, F you, Jericho. Do your own promotion. We don't need to promote your ass. I would love to promote you if you're wrestling. And you're wrestling at SummerSlam. We don't need to promote your ass.
And you're going to lose at SummerSlam, and then you're going to lose again at Night of Champions.
Well,
it's going to be in a 2 out of 3 thing like we predicted here first, that Second City
Sleepers. You won the
Sleepers.
first one.
Yeah, Jericho won the first.
I'm not promoting your ass. I mean, I love Jericho. Shit. Me and you don't even love Jericho that much.
I love Jericho.
I love him. I don't like him. It's a big thing. It's different. I'm not promoting his ass when he's... I love wrestling. I love wrestlers. I'm promoting my wrestling. Guys. Right? I mean, come on.
Okay, but moving on the show.
Really? Fuck Jericho.
Moving on in the show, you're gonna have a part that you'll love. We had Fandango versus Diego once again for some.
Oh my God, we were talking about Raw.
Yes.
What is this? 3-hour show? Get it? It is 3 hours.
We had Fandango versus Diego part 2 for some
Lord.
stupid reason. Creative, you guys are retards.
And you're retards for making me wake up Wake up. Keep me up this late. No, okay.
Diego ended up beating Fandango from another distraction. No, it wasn't even a distraction because
Fandango lost again?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Fandango came out with Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle made his Raw return. And a lot of you were probably waiting for that.
I was.
Well, Hornswoggle was better than Blow Dallas, so that was a little better.
That's... See?
But anyway, before we get into Blow Dallas, that's coming up next.
Ooh.
Diego beat Fandango because Fandango accidentally knocked Hornswoggle off the ring, and then Diego did the backstabber. 1, 2, 3, no one else cares.
Nobody cares.
No one really cares.
Nobody gives a rat's anus.
Rat's anus.
Rats have anuses.
Pretty sure they do.
They do. I just said.
But moving on next, we had Blow Dallas versus R-Truth. And can't really say probably the rematch, I guess technically say.
Rematch of all. Alright, tell me who won. Let's go.
Okay, so coming up after this match, we had
who won the match?
Blow Dallas won. Moves to 18 and 2.
He won? How did he win? We don't know how he won. Yes, well, let's go.
He won with the slice of bread.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Which looked horrible once again.
No.
No. He didn't win from the slice of bread. He won by he rolled up R-Truth.
You don't even know because
he rolled up R-Truth and grabbed R-Truth's tights and rolled up. That's what happened.
Messed up his mind so much he don't even know how he won. Believe. Bo Dallas. What is he? 18 and 1?
18 and 2.
He never lost twice.
He lost on SmackDown.
Hey! Nobody watches that shit. 18 and 1. Nobody watches that shit. Alright.
Yeah, Blow Dallas won via a roll up, grabbing R-Truth's tights. I just remember that now, finally. So it's 18 and 2 now. The record stands
18 and 1.
18 and 2.
Nobody watches that other shit.
Okay, so if you don't count SmackDown, technically he'd be like 9 and 1 then.
Nobody watches it.
He'd be like 9 and 1 if you don't count the SmackDown matches.
Believe.
But coming up, we had a quick Bray Wyatt segment on the Videotron. Nothing special. It was the same Bray Wyatt stuff. You know,
yeah, I'm afraid.
Saying different words, beginning to the same point again. You know, I'm beginning to not be a believer in Bray Wyatt anymore.
I'm thinking I'm backing you up on that, brother.
He hasn't proved much in the ring yet. I mean, he
hasn't, and I don't think WWE's backing him up.
He can talk, but he gets to the same point every time he's on there. I mean, do something in the ring. Do something in the ring to prove me wrong. I want to see you prove me wrong. Do it. You just haven't done it yet. You've had plenty of time to make yourself known, to giving yourself a big look, and you just haven't done it yet. But next up we had it was scheduled Seth Rollins versus RVD in the next Beat the Clock match. Rollins came out, then RVD came out, and it was announced by the Authority that Seth Rollins will not be facing RVD. They have chosen a new opponent, and Heath Slater comes out. This was the funniest part of the night here.
Wait a minute. What happened?
Heath Slater.
All right, let the record show, because you're gonna air this. I have not watched Raw. I apologize. I was working. Okay, so what happened?
Heath Slater came out then instead of...
Heath Slater came out.
Heath Slater came out to fight Seth Rollins.
At the main event of Raw.
Yes.
Okay.
Funny
Heath Slater.
Yes, Heath Slater. The one-man band, baby.
The one-man band?
Yes.
Alright. And he went against...
You went against Seth Rollins in a Beat the Clock match.
Wow.
So, the match began. You know, Rollins started beating the crap out of Slater. And then Dean Ambrose comes walking out and grabs Seth Rollins' briefcase.
Wait. Who was he going against?
Rollins was going up against Heath Slater.
Rollins was going against Heath Slater.
Yes.
So who the hell came? Because you were just like, I thought you said Rollins just came out to the ring.
Yes.
No, but if Rollins and Heath Slater are fighting each other, Rollins can't come down in the ring.
I said Rollins came down in the ring, then RVD did. Because that was his scheduled opponent.
RVD did, but then you said Rollins came down in the ring. I'm like, I can't do that. You gotta tell me who's fighting each other.
Okay, but anyway, it was scheduled for RVD versus Seth Rollins.
I want to know who's.
They were both in the
who's-
ring, and then the authority stated that
know.
RVD will not be Seth Rollins' opponent.
Who's wrestling who? Does anybody
So
know?
then they said
Who's
this will be
sleeping with
Seth Rollins' opponent. So, okay.
Does anybody know who's sleeping with it? On this day,
Okay, but,
I see clearly. Alright. Dude, just yell. Dude, we don't know. We don't know who's fucking who. Just be like, hey.
okay, but, Seth Rollins ended up fighting Heath Slater
Okay.
via the change
So,
from the authority.
did Seth Rollins come back?
What?
Who? So,
Okay, I'm gonna...
that's what you said.
Oh my
No,
god.
okay. No, I apologize.
Drug gas.
So who beat? So at the end of Monday Night Raw,
We're not even at the end of Monday Night Raw yet. There's still,
Oh my God,
it's
we're
like-
not even at the Monday. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Okay.
Okay, but the next match was Seth Rollins versus RVD, supposedly. Both men were in the ring, and the authority announced that RVD would not be Seth Rollins' opponent, that this man would be. Heath Slater comes out to fight Rollins instead of Rob Van Dam. The match started, ended up with Dean Ambrose coming out to the ring, or I think he came out of the crowd, if I'm not mistaken, actually. And he would grab Seth Rollins' briefcase, proceed to take a pop from the audience, pour the pop inside the briefcase to distract Rollins. Then he would proceed to grab a bucket of popcorn, pour the popcorn inside the briefcase, and so on. Then he'd grab JBL's cowboy hat, throw that in there, stuff it inside, close the briefcase. Heath Slater would turn around and do the kind of like a zigzag kind of thing that Ziggler does. End up pinning Rollins for 1, 2, 3. Rollins loses, so Ambrose wins the match and chooses the stipulation, which I just looked up by my phone, which he would announce at SmackDown this week. I just got the results, and Ambrose has decided to, spoiler alert, which I thought would have been, Ambrose would have made a Money in the Bank ladder match between the two for the briefcase. Didn't happen. I was wrong on that. Ambrose ended up deciding on a lumberjack match between the two of them at SummerSlam.
Is that real?
Yeah, yep.
Lumberjack man.
Yeah, I don't understand that, really. I don't get it. Really don't. I don't see how those two could benefit off a lumber. I don't see how anybody could. I don't get the point of a lumberjack match. It doesn't benefit any of the wrestlers at all. It's stupid. It's dumb. Creative. You fucked up on this one. I
There's
think.
no way they said lumberjack man.
That's what Ambrose came out and SmackDown and said it.
SmackDown didn't even happen yet.
They taped it tonight. I just checked it. But yeah, so SummerSlam, those two are going to go out a lumberjack match.
Wait, who's going? Alright.
Rollins and Ambrose.
Rollins and Ambrose are going to get
Yes.
a lumberjack match.
It's
For what?
SummerSlam. For nothing. Just a lumberjack match.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
That's bad.
And then
It's not even good.
it's not. It's
What's a lumberjack man? Who's going to be lumberjacks? I'm sorry.
you're gonna have the authority out there, I'm sure, and then just a bunch
No,
of
that's
mid carders. You're gonna
horrible.
have your Zack Ryders, your Fandangos.
If you
out
ever
there.
notice, all right, I'm back. If you ever notice, SummerSlam is out of the top. Okay, you always had WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series,
Royal Rumble.
and
Mosquitoes are out in full effect tonight.
WrestleMania. You always had them. SummerSlam was the biggest, worst pay-per-view
Yep.
of all time. With the big four, that WrestleMania, SummerSlam was the worst out of the big four.
It always
and
is,
this
too.
year is going to be even worse.
It's going to be terrible, especially your main event with Lesnar and
That's
Cena,
horrible.
which is going to be a
And
travesty
Lesnar's
of a
piece
match.
shit.
They both are.
And yeah, that's horrible. I mean, if you want to chop it up to where, I mean, that's just horrible. Horrible.
It's
I
not
mean,
pretty.
like wrestling, man. That's why Vince McMahon is having a hard time. Wrestling is just so bad right now. I wish we could put it on paper how good it should be. It's so bad.
We will do one day. We are going to I haven't written down for a future episode of each of us going through and kind of writing what we would do with the roster right now, what storylines we would do for each of the main stars. We do plan on doing that one day. But moving on, as this video is getting long, we still got Ziggler about to call us. Whenever he does, he's supposed to call us like...
Who?
Ziggler. Ziggler was supposed to call us like 10 minutes ago. We might have to try calling him. But moving on to the end of the show, we had the Stephanie and Brie contract signing for their match at
Oh my god,
SummerSlam.
we're still talking about Raw?
This is the end of Raw.
I didn't even watch Raw. I'm just letting you know.
But, no, you had those two exchanging words, bitch, making my bed, whatever they said, and then ended up with Triple H pushing the table into Brie and pinning Brie to the turnbuckle. And Stephanie would do a pedigree to Nikki Bella, which Stephanie does a lot better pedigree than Triple H. It's amazing how much better she actually does it than Triple H. And then Brie would kind of get untrapped, would kind of escape, I guess you would say, and would smack Triple H, go run after Stephanie. Stephanie pedigreed Brie, knocked out, and that's Stephanie would celebrate. I think she did the yes chant. She may have, may not have, but I'm pretty sure she did. That's the end of Raw. I mean, wasn't a bad Raw. It's a lot better than last week's. Last week's Raw was terrible. I think I said on our Facebook page I give Raw a 7 out of 10. I still stand by that. Probably could be a 6 out of 10 actually, looking back at it, but I'll stick with my 7 out of 10. But anyway, do you want to... My phone's almost dead. Do you want to try calling Ziggler on your phone since he hasn't called yet?
Yes, let's... Dolph Ziggler has just become... It's become a good... he's one of the good guys, and we contacted him last week.
Yeah, he got in contact with us on Twitter on Twitter, which I don't check that often.
And we're gonna call him right now. So let's give him a call and see if he's available.
Make sure you put it on speaker.
I got speaker. We're trying.
You had it.
No. Sometimes I have it. See, that's what happens when you drink a lot. What are we doing?
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, he's gonna do it. So,
Yeah, I got it here. Just sit here like this. The hell? He's not answering yet.
Your call has been forwarded to a...
Wow, really?
Oh, damn it.
Let me try again real quick.
So, let the record show.
Hold on, I'm gonna try again.
Ziggler did give us that's his number.
That's his number.
We are calling him right now. And you know what? It's pretty late though. So,
And it is like
God
2
bless
a.m.
him. So, what we're going to do next week?
I'm gonna give it a second. He might.
Okay.
Nope.
Nah. Damn it, Dolph. It's alright. You know what? Sometimes it happens.
Okay, so
Sometimes it happens.
next week we're gonna have to try him again. See if he'll pick up.
No, you know what? Next week, we're going to have Dolph. And I just called a friend of mine. Yeah, I did. This is what we
Really?
do. Yeah.
This is news
Because
to
you
me.
know what? This is our show. And we gotta do something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
We do. So hopefully we can call Dolph because Dolph was me and you. We should get a hold of Dolph next week. We should. But next week I'm gonna get a hold of it's crazy. But next week I'm gonna get a hold of I know you're looking at me like, what are you doing? I know.
I'm kind of scared.
I know. Don't be scared, but we're next week. If we don't get we're going to try to get a hold of Dolph next week. And, to be honest with you, we're going to get him. But next week, myself, we're going to get a hold of Honky Tonk Man. Yes, we are. Because Honky Tonk Man just texted me, said, hey, you were doing a show? I said, yes, I am, Honky. And he's like, well, I'm going to say hello. I said, I'll say hello too. So I got the Honky
I'll
Tonk
have a
Man.
lot of words for him when he calls in.
Hey, and you know what? That's you know what? Because I know he hates him. I know a lot of people hate the Honky Tonk. Best Intercontinental Champion of all time. So before we're gonna have Dolph talk, and then right after Dolph talks, we're gonna have the Honky Tonk Man.
We'll have those separated in 2 videos next week.
Oh, we're gonna do it at the same time.
Ooh.
And I know this guy is gonna yell at Honky Tonk Man because he don't like him. But I got the Honky Tonk Man. Hey, you know what? Best Intercontinental Champion of all time. I got the Honky Tonk Man. Got him next week. He's good, and he's gonna be. You know the Honky Tonk Man. He's crazy. He's a crazy son of a. That's a record show.
Okay, but anyway, be sure to stay tuned for our episodes next week. So hopefully Ziggler will answer us on our next episode.
Well, Honky Tonk Man will be here. Don't even worry about that.
Will he be here, or will he actually be on the phone?
Well,
Because you talked to him, I didn't.
You don't. He'll be on. He'll be in everything we do.
Okay, so he'll be involved in the show somehow. I'll get this clarified.
Honky Tonk Man.
I'll get this clarified before next week. But yeah, next week we'll hopefully if he picks up, we'll have Ziggler on the phone, and we'll have
Honky Tonk Man will be here.
And we'll have that
live.
We'll have that terrible wrestler
live,
whether it's on the phone or in person or
Honky Tonk Man will be here.
Either way, but that's gonna do it. This video has gotten long. It would have been really long if you would have picked up. You're probably sleeping or had other plans. Hopefully we'll get in contact with you next week. But as always, don't forget we have a Facebook and a Twitter page. Be sure to like and follow those. If you liked what we were talking about or want to add on to our discussions, be sure to put a comment down below in the description, giving us any suggestions you might have for a future episode. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help support us a little bit, and also it'll keep you up to date on your home page on YouTube when videos will be uploaded. And as always, this is Alex, Bill, Second City Sleeper signing off. Dolph Ziggler, Honky Tonk Man. Hopefully see you guys next week.
Hey, Honky Tonk, get my butt.
YouTube. We'll see you guys later.